Okay, boat project. Some people have been asking me when I do boat projects to video them, so I'm gonna video me working. So findings, one, the shore, the way the Sea of Cortez is here in our local area, it's kind of shallow and goes out. So what we ran into from launching from the beach, the last video, that little cruiser video, was the boat's too high on the homemade boat trailer. So let me show you. You can see here. So this distance right here is too high. Once this gets into the water right here, we've got to go another, what is that, 8 inches or so. 8 inches or so to get the boat to somewhat float on to the beams here. So what the plan is today is that right underneath here you can see the keel. We're going to measure the keel to the bottom here. We're going to take that and we're going to cut these supports down, and they need to be shored up anyways. That's why that tie down is there. And then to do that, we've got our pulley, our harness and our pulley, and this is what I use to put the motor on the boat. So typically it's just 3 of us. So like I said before, we've got 2 older kids, but they're off to college and stuff like that, which my older boy would help me put the motor on, no problem. But when it's just by myself and the wifey and the 6-year-old, we need help. We're both really strong, but so this pulley makes it super easy. You can see up there, and gets a lot of leverage. I think this is a 5-to-1 ratio pulley. So I'm going to be able to lift the whole boat up, pull the side rail off, and cut it down, remount it, screw it in a little bit better, and see how that works. So yeah, and then I believe, well, next time when we go out, I'll go through the whole boat. So let's get this project started. We've got the boat lifted off of the runner. Got it tied off to the Polaris. It's a little sketchy, but hey, you know, that's how I roll. A little sketchy all the time. Alright, so let's take these off, lower them down. We're gonna lower them, gosh, about 6.5 inches. So we'll be about 1 inch off the bottom. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so we got the first one cut down. Hopefully the lighting's not too bad. We can see what we did here. Here we go. Let's see what we did here. So, cut this down. So, we took it down 6.5 inches. We actually could have gone 7. And then cut this one down for the 3.5 to fit into the holders here. I did throw a couple extra screws to not have to have the tie-down strap, because it wanted to naturally push outward, so it was kind of bending those. But all looks well. So we'll get it installed, and then I'll come back. Okie-dokie. Okay, so now you can see how much lower it sits than it did before. I think it kind of came out pretty good. Let's take a look up underneath here. You can see that we're just about 1 inch or so off the bottom, and I think this is going to be a better deal here. We're going to be able to load and unload this boat just a little bit easier. Okay, so we'll give it a whirl. Mañana. All right, good morning, everybody. Today's project, boat stuff, is extending out the tongue. I had a couple comments about how I did the trailer for the inflatable, and today you're going to kind of get to see a little bit of that and how I did it. It's pretty easy. You got to put in the time. That's it. I'm sure if you had somebody do it, let me try to get some better light here. Goodness sakes. I'm sure if you had somebody else do it for you, probably cost a little bit more money. But let's just go over what I'm going to do today. So, the tongue of the boat, I extended this out. This is a 5-foot piece of 2x2 steel square tubing. And I thought it was going to be long enough, but we learned really quick that when the tide is super low, we need to get it out behind the Polaris a little bit farther. I think when the tide's high, this will be fine, but we'll just change it now so that way we can not have any issues in the future. And once I get the cover off, and we're going to take the boat off today and clean it and do all sorts of stuff. But here in San Felipe, there's a metal shop, and I'm not sure how much I paid for that piece of steel in the States. I want to say it was about 40 bucks, if I remember correctly, for a 5-foot piece. I got a 10-foot piece. Now, you can see right here, same square tubing, 10 foot, because gas prices are so awesome right now. I took the wife's car instead of my truck. So yeah, through the racks on the car, there's a steel place down the street from our house, $21 for a 10-foot 2x2 square tubing. I mean, I love it. So I actually just threw some Gorilla Tape on that bad boy and drove it on over. So I'll try to do as much filming as I can today on this. But we're gonna go ahead and get started and knock it out. All right, using my handy dandy pulley. You can see up here, pulley system. Down. Tied some ropes off. I took everything out. And now we've got the boat sitting on the canvas. The trailer. So I don't remember what angle this is. I don't remember what angle this is, but I think this is 21 on the angle. And then you can see that they've got these little side rail holders here, and it's just two 2x4s. One 2x4 that goes into the side holder, one 2x4 that rests on the 3/4 ply that was already here, but that you put down on the trailer. So Harbor Freight trailer, and then I made it just to where it barely touches the wheel fender, and that was because here it's so shallow sometimes when you launch from the beach. You have to be able to get the boat as low as you can. Yeah, learnings. To the water and get it out in there. So today's project, you can see here that I did not extend this all the way back to here. So let me get it. So I did not extend the tongue all the way back underneath to here, which puts a lot of pressure on this A-frame part of the tongue. So what I did was I doubled my length, got a 10-foot piece instead of a 5-foot piece. I'll extend it out to up underneath here, and then extend it out all the way here. Now, people ask me if I welded this, and I did not weld this, and this is the reason why, is because I have ideas. I've got a lot of ideas, but they don't always work out. So there's always character to fix in them, and so that's what I say. I always say, like, babe, you want me to build you something? It's gonna have a little character. So, and she's good with it. She doesn't really care about the boat trailer, but you get what I'm saying. So I always account for the character, and it's a perfect example today. So we'll get this off, and we'll get the new one, and it's just basically putting it in and drilling a bunch of holes, which sucks, but it's not welded. So let me just show you. 2 bolts holding here. I'll take these 2 bolts off, and I'll put them back here. 2 bolts here. They go all the way to the bottom. Up in the front, we've got 2 bolts here, 1 bolt here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's get going. Okay, all the bolts are off. That's the hitch itself right there, off. Wires, we're gonna, you know what, we're just gonna unthread them here. And the reason being is, let's get them out of the way so there's no pinch points and, you know, damage the trailer wiring more than the salt water is gonna do. So, all bolts off. There we go. There's the tongue, as easy as that. Now, when I got the trailer, just so for visual comparison, this was mounted right here. So the hitch was mounted on top of the end of this, being the tongue. And you can see on mine, I don't know if you can see from there, it's bent here already. I mean, this was a pretty beat up trailer, hence, you know, 150 bucks. But that's awesome. So we're gonna exchange this 5-foot piece for a 10-foot piece. So let's just give it a look and see how it's gonna look. Move this. Let's grab our 10-footer. All right. 10-footer. Boom. Right there. There we go. Wow. All right, let me set this on just for a visual of how it was before. Okay. That's how it was before. You can see right there where it ends, right over here. Now it extends all the way out, and that's with extending it back to give more support on the tongue. So, yes. All right, let's do this. Okay, clamps, held it on. I was able to, I'm a bolt hoarder, okay? I'm nut and bolts and screws, I hoard them all. So that's where I found these, but I found some nice stainless steel bolts that will go into here. So that went all the way through. They were long enough, 2.5 inch. So 2.5 inch bolt here. These are 3-inch bolts here, all the way through in the pre-existing holes that I drilled before. Just held it with a couple clamps, did some measurements. Like I said, this trailer is bent, so it's going to be as close as it can be, but it should do fine. So I've got these 2 in, got this one, I'm going to put another one, and then a little L bracket here on the end, and then put the hitch on, and it's done. So let's finish it up. Okay, project's done. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me show you the final, well, not quite final. I'm going to throw a little paint on it just to help keep it from rusting, but here we go. There it is, extended out. So put a 10-foot piece on there. That should be able to get us back far enough into the water. As you can see, bolted, bolted. Got it bolted right there, there, and then I threw this extra little bracket on it just to kind of firm everything up. Total time, about 4 hours. That's from going and getting the piece of metal at the shop, and then, you know, it's pretty humid down here by the water, so, and a little bit warm today. I think we're hitting like 90 degrees. So taking little water breaks and whatnot because I'm old and fat. So, but came out nice. Now it's gonna get the boat cleaned up from the few trips that we took it out, and then winch it back up, get it on the trailer. So the last part of the boat trailer before I edit the video and put it out was putting the bearing buddies on. And I had a couple questions of what bearing buddies to get, and so the one that I chose according to the other videos was this one, model 2047. So 2047 bearing buddy, and that's the one that fits the Harbor Freight foldable trailers, their axle and hub there. So we're gonna go ahead and get this on, and then of course I forgot my grease gun, so then when I come back down I'll have to put grease in it, but no big deal. You should really fill them up with grease before you put them on, but I'm gonna put them on anyways. So let's get them on and see how they fit. Okay, bearing buddy, wood, hammer. I'm gonna just clean this up a little bit because I've been rolling around without anything in there. Get any of that kind of yucky out. I wouldn't recommend doing that like I did it, that's for sure. Alright, so according to how we do this, we should be able to just hold it like this, give it a, there we go, give it a couple taps. There we go. And there it is. Guess you got to beat on it a little harder than I thought. Alright, that bad boy's in there. There we go. Thanks for watching this little project right here. More to come. Arcos De Baja and family adventures. Yeah, we're always doing something. We're always doing something. So if that's any questions about the trailer, there it is. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.